Hey guys, this is Dan with Gears and Gadgets. Thanks for tuning in. So the last couple weeks, I've been really busy editing these videos with the Find Your Freedom interns. I have 2 more to go to post on the channel, but today there was some pretty big news in the world of Harley-Davidson. It's the new CEO, Jochen Zeitz, who was named today as that new CEO. He's been the interim since the departure of Matt Levatich. And right off the bat, I believe there's going to be a lot of people that are kind of confused by this and probably a little bit defensive maybe of the Harley-Davidson brand. Jochen Zeitz was the former CEO of Puma, a shoe company, and I've already seen it in the comments down below of people that say, oh, great, you know, what's a guy with a shoe company know about motorcycles? But what I have to say is that in the last week or so, I've seen some glimmers of hope here. And after doing a little more research today, I'm even more optimistic of this new CEO. Now, Jochen Zeitz, yes, he was a CEO of Puma from 1993 to 2007 when they were bought out. And he really turned that company around and did great things. And he also was a co-founder, and this is where things get a little bit more positive, in my opinion. He was the co-founder of B Team with another guy named Sir Richard Branson, who obviously very widely, commonly known name, but very, very smart businessman. And they founded this B Team organization as it's really a forward-thinking type organization, looking at business that really isn't working any longer and taking a fresh new approach to solving kind of some old problems. And it seems very promising. I'll link it down below. You can read it for yourself. But to me, it just seems like something that Harley-Davidson is in a great need for right now. So seeing that makes me a little bit more optimistic. And then combining that with the rewire that was announced last week. I wanted to do a video on that last week, but it seemed very premature and probably, to be honest with you, still is a little bit. But what I have seen in the last week since that announcement is the Pan America and the Bronx, which were both slated for 2020 releases, have been pushed to 2021. I saw that just on their website today. Both the dates have changed. And then they also have the custom for 2021. So 2021 is going to be a big year for Harley-Davidson for new bikes and new models. We're already kind of almost there. So with the way things are today, it makes sense to pump the brakes. There's a huge regime change. And with the current economy, I don't see really putting any bikes out today seems probably not smart for the sake of people are going to be holding on to their money, I would think, for the next 6 to 8 months and see how everything shakes out. Now, one of the other things I noticed today in preparing for this video is if you go to the Harley-Davidson investor website, the very first page, they outline their entire strategy. Now, back in late 2017, early 2018, Harley-Davidson announced this big initiative that by 2027, they were going to have 4 million new riders, which, fine, that's a good number. But then there was 100 new models, and they called it high-impact models. So when they say that, at first when I heard 100 new models, it's like, okay, so a different kind of street glide, different packages, and they're going to get to that 100 by just kind of adding some things onto the bikes that they currently already sell. But when they say high-impact models, to me that meant like nearly 100 new motorcycles in 10 years, which seems reckless in my opinion. I mean, they already have a great formula of bikes that they have today that I really just think are stale and kind of in need of some modern innovation and really kind of just a facelift. So that 100 bike thing really, since I saw that back in 2017, really kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So I'm happy now to report that as of today, all of those goals are wiped off of that page. So apparently they're now deciding that they're really going to retool. This rewire is a complete retooling of their whole mission as a motorcycle company. So for anybody out there who's thinking, okay, great, we have a new guy in town and they can get rid of the live wire because I hate that bike, it was the worst idea. It's not going to happen. I'm happy it's not going to happen. I'm saying this based on what I'm looking at, but Jochen Zeitz, part of that B Team organization that he co-founded, is all about sustainability and kind of a responsible approach to business as well. And obviously it's 2020 going into the future. EVs are here to stay. They're not going anywhere. And Harley-Davidson is absolutely going to cement its name in that whole platform. So I do hope that what this means is that they can find a way to quickly roll out whatever Livewire 2.0 is going to be at a much more friendly price point, and they can maybe right the ship of the narrative that the Livewire is just too expensive and nobody wants to buy it, which I also think was an intentional move, but I've said that before. I'll kind of leave that alone for this one. But I think the Livewire is here to stay. I do really kind of hold out hope now that Jochen Zeitz will be able to find a way to make Harley-Davidson appeal to a younger generation, all while not alienating the older generation, because they are a huge portion of, if not the majority portion of the brand, but they can't be forever. It's just simply not sustainable. So what I really hope to see in the next couple years is a real good refresh of the touring bikes, bring them up to speed with just modern things, and the cheap, easy, low-hanging fruit is LEDs and all that stuff. But really just even look at the touring bikes completely differently, and don't fear the core customer to the point where it stifles innovation. If they can come out with an aluminum frame, the carbon fiber frame, something totally different than what they've been doing for the last 50 years, would be really awesome to see them do that, because you will always have the old people complain. It doesn't matter what you do. Anybody, especially when you talk about a brand as familiar as Harley-Davidson, if you make one little tiny change, people are going to complain about it. But the best part about that is that if it's a good product, they come back around. So it's a great way to get younger people back interested into what you're doing. And then as the old people complain and come to find out that the new thing is that much better, then they come and they start spending their money as well. So I'm really hoping that's kind of the path that Harley-Davidson is going to go down. I also think that Matt Levatich did set the table well for a bit of a revitalization. The 2018 Softail line is awesome. It has rave reviews. I love my heritage. It really seems to be that new platform is just a real winner. The Milwaukee 8 seems to be proving its place as a great power plant. And of course, the new bikes that are coming out with the liquid-cooled Revolution Max, that's going to be a big deal. So these were all things that were brought in from the Matt Levatich regime, and I think they're going to be a big component to setting the table for things to be turned around. So I don't really anticipate a lot of the projects that are publicly known right now being shelved. I do see maybe some things that we might not even know about yet that they're just going to totally pump the brakes on for the next couple of years as they just try to, well, as I say, rewire the current operation as it is. It would be really nice just to see them kind of slow down for a minute and focus. I'll say it like Marcus Lemonis, which is, people and process are like the two most important things. And I think that for Harley-Davidson, both those have been a little bit broken. And I do think for the last, 10 years, the sales kind of show it. I do think that there's a lot of disenfranchised customers out there. I know it because they are very much frequent on this channel. But it's something that I think Harley-Davidson really should just focus on the people and process over the next couple of years, fine-tune as much as they possibly can, and then really just look at things a little bit differently and start focusing on the appeal to the younger generation. So with all that being said, I personally am actually excited to see what Jochen Zeitz can do with Harley-Davidson. I don't anticipate anything groundbreaking in 2020, but with a lot of these product launches coming up in 2021, that is going to be very exciting. I also like the fact that I've seen in the last week or so where they said they're no longer going to announce products at the end of the year. They're going to start announcing products right before riding season. I really hope that this means they are going to be able to announce a product and that day have people go to the dealership and put money down for that new bike that's going to be in the dealership in 2 months from now, and really start kind of encouraging people, get that spur of the moment kind of decision going where they see these products and say, I need to have that the day it comes out, not have to see it and then say, well, I'm not going to buy it now because it's going to snow for the next 4 months. And, you lose a lot of people by losing that sense of immediacy. So I'm really excited that they're doing that. I think it just makes the most amount of sense. Probably always should have been done that way. I don't totally know why it wasn't. I'm sure there was a reason for it. But with all that being said, I'm really excited about this. Can't wait to see where this goes. So again, if this is your first time tuning in, please hit that subscribe button down below. Remember, likes go a long way to help support the channel, and I will see you guys next time.